morning everyone, I'm Annie. Friday was a really great start to this long weekend. It was so nice to have a lay-in in the morning, and then I just sat and read for a few hours to start my day. I've been trying to read Law by Alexandra Bracken for a while now, and it just ends up getting pushed to the bottom of my pile by other books and other priorities in life. But I'm really loving the story. It's giving me mild Percy Jackson vibes, which was the book that really started my love for Greek mythology. This ended up being a really chill day. We went for a walk in the forest and then we found a little grassy area near to the river where there was loads of boats, swans and ducks. It was a really beautiful place just to lay and read for a while, but frankly the breeze was just a little bit too chilly for me to embrace the full spring feeling. Saturday was just really nice to spend some time with Nate, talking about art things, picking up some supplies for a project I'm undertaking, and then in the afternoon I worked on some editing for my first book. And I'm just trying to work out how to rewrite one of these paragraphs, and it just doesn't seem to be sitting right in my head, so that is currently an ongoing battle. I was in the middle of beginning to try and edit and my computer's throwing a tantrum. My phone is currently in between tantrums at the moment, so I've got a frothy apple juice because it was the last of the bottle. Looks like we're taking a 5-minute break from editing while that sorts itself out. I've got to uninstall a bunch of programs that I literally don't use and I have no idea what half of them even do, let alone where they even came from. So yeah, I've got to go and do all of that before I can get back to some actual work. In terms of editing my first book, everything is pretty much formatted and ready to go. We're just working on a few last little tweaks of restructuring sentences and just making sure that everything is as polished as we can possibly get it. So there's a couple of things that I still need to work on in terms of restructuring sentences, so I'm just making it a bit of an updated note, as you can see now. I find it really useful working off of paper just because I find it helpful to write it down and more likely to remember it. Good morning everyone. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a morning check-in. So I had a really interesting dream last night that I think could be the start of a really nice contemporary romance, which is something I've only just recently been reading. So it could be really interesting to sort of dip my toe in with this sort of idea. But I've got my tea, I've got my pups, so I'm all ready to write down this idea and then probably sit and watch some YouTube for a little bit. So this is a really particular example where I find writing things with pen and paper is particularly useful to helping me remember. So I tend to write out all of my ideas on pen and paper first, and then later on I go over to my computer and I type them up into a Word document. This is the point at which things begin to get fleshed out a little bit more, so that when I come back to the idea at whatever point in time, I've got a bit more of a solid go from what I was thinking to begin with. So I've literally just started working on book 2 and trying to draft a little bit more, and I was reading back through what I've written because it's been a little while since I touched it, and I'm sat there going, I swear I got to more than where this is. Like, I swear I got to the next plot point, like where is it? And I've just spent the last 15 minutes absolutely freaking out that it's gone and deleted everything I wrote, and I basically rewritten nearly 10,000 words, and I'm like, oh my god, I found it, hallelujah, I found it. Turns out I'm just an idiot and I can't even use my own filing system. I did not need this stress on a Sunday morning. So after eventually finding the right file to be working on, I then got really stuck into working on continuing to draft. So because I've been struggling with motivation to really continue with this recently, I set myself a goal of doing 5 minutes, which obviously ended up being a lot more, and I ended up with a lot more words written than I thought I would. It is the end of the day, and it has been a glorious weekend. It has been blue skies all around, which has been so lovely to be able to sit outside and read. It's been really nice to get some productivity back in my life, which I've been struggling with. And yeah, I think I'm just going to spend the evening to just chill, play some video games with friends. But first I am just going to fill out my bullet journal trackers because I haven't done them all weekend. And yeah, it has been a great weekend. Comment below if this style of video is something you guys are up for, and I will see you guys next time.